I have the flu and this sucks. Anyway, what else sucks is that, holy crap, Elon Musk is now potentially getting death threats related to being listed on potentially a Ukrainian activist hit list website, which basically says they want to take Elon Musk, amongst others, out. This has gotten so severe that it's led to Elon Musk pinning this tweet from May. He just pinned this today. This was not there before. If I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been nice knowing ya. Yeah, so look, what's going on here? Okay, I'm going to try to quickly catch you up on this because there's a lot, but we're going to make it quick and try to bottom line this for you just for the purposes of saving you time. There are details that you're welcome to add in the comments. Keep in mind, we do have an expiration of the coupon code tonight. It might expire in the morning because we have to update the websites and change everything manually, but everything's ready to go. So as soon as we do that this weekend, that pricing is gone. So get in. We're also removing some of the benefits for people who join after tonight. So as long as you join with that coupon code linked down below, whether it's tonight or first thing in the morning or whatever before we make the change, you're good. You're in for lifetime access, especially in that wealth course. Okay, so what happened? So Elon Musk ran this poll, basically casting this idea, having this peace talk of saying, hey, why don't we just let the UN run a poll and see what the Ukrainians want? Do they actually want to be part of Russia? Or do they want to be part of Ukraine? And Elon Musk gave this potential outline here of the areas annexed under, that were annexed by Russia, potentially, well, likely illegally. I mean, after all, 98 to 99% of people in the Russian referendum voted to annex these areas. And so everybody's like, come on, really? These are rigged. But that lets Putin say this was, done by overwhelming support of the people. Anyway, Elon's saying, hey, why don't you just have the UN get involved and supervise this and make Crimea officially part of Russia, as it has been since 1783. And water supply restored to Crimea and assured, and Ukraine remaining neutral. So this led to a lot of hate, especially the parts about the history relating to Ukraine. You even have this person who ran for office in Ukraine casting doubt about Elon Musk's intentions by saying, why give Starlink in the first place then? Which is really ironic because, what does that have to do with this peace poll? It literally has nothing to do with this. Ultimately, there will be a solution. This war's not going to last forever. And so, if you're proposing ideas, what does that have to do with the goodness of charity, right? But that charity has also been come into question in terms of payments for that potential charity. So we'll talk about this. There's a lot of drama. But anyway, Elon replies to this, the will of the people should decide whether they're part of Russia or part of Ukraine. But Russia invaded areas that would unequivocally be part of Ukraine. This would be like Kyiv, right? Obviously the capital, the convoy to Kyiv, and so on and so forth. So lot going on here to unpackage. Elon Musk then also raises this prospect of, look, ultimately, peace is going to happen, and this is just an example of an outcome. It's just a question of how many people die before we actually realize that there's probably going to be some negotiation here. But then again, Elon's trying to negotiate with Twitter, and that's not really going well. So also worth noting that it's possible, although unlikely, that the outcome from this is nuclear war. This has led to a lot of David versus Goliath examples where if Russia wins, then, they'll end up expanding into NATO territory. And if that happens, we could be going to a kaboom scenario. And if Ukraine wins, then that could lead to a Russian escalation. And anyway, it all kind of ends up in nuclear disaster, which what's so terrible about this is you even had Tulsi Gabbard, who went on the Joe Rogan podcast. And she's obviously, well, maybe not obvious, but she's a representative from Hawaii in the House of Representatives. And she also ran for president, by the way. She, boy, oh boy, she just denounced the Democratic Party, saying that they are too focused on the military-industrial complex and that she's leaving to go to Republicans because she wants to see this war end, doesn't want to see nuclear war. That led to a lot of drama with people showing up at events like an AOC event in New York where she was reamed on for potentially supporting the delivery of weapons that could escalate into nuclear war in Ukraine. It's like there's so much drama going on. I'm just trying to catch you up here, okay? So this also led to obviously a lot of hit pieces, which is very common on social media. I really feel like Twitter is kind of just like a pissing contest of who has the best YouTube title and thumbnail, except it's Twitter, because generally there's very little follow-up context, which is kind of bad. Unlike videos, like on YouTube, it's like, at least when you click on the video, you can get the full story, right? Most people don't actually read threads on YouTube, or on Twitter, and that's what I see, at least with my statistics. The viewership's always higher for the first post. But anyway, this person writes, Elon, man, seems like you have missed a lot of history lessons while concentrating on space and e-cars. You know, what's really remarkable about this is this person's really minimizing Elon Musk's achievement, implying that he's kind of just playing with cars and being focused on the planets and, oh, how cute. Obviously, you don't know anything about history. But what's kind of sad is this person doesn't actually give you any kind of context to what kind of history Elon Musk was wrong about. There's really no reason to even bring up cars or space because somebody could be an expert in history and and be working on these things, right? So it's generally best to write a comment about like how specifically somebody is wrong and provide evidence, so that way the other person could potentially learn. But that would get 10 likes. This got 100,000 likes. And then, of course, this was kind of dirty. This person goes on and says, your proposals sound a lot like Putin's. Now, obviously, the person doesn't like Putin, lowercasing Putin, and everything else is perfect with grammar. But that's fine. This person is clearly, has got his side. And it just ended up leading to, well, ultimately, the hit piece we're going to be talking about in just a moment. Now, there has been some defense of Elon Musk. For example, David Sachs says the only way if you care, this is the only way, like negotiating settlements is the only way if you care about the principles of self-determination. Why do Ukrainian sock puppets, like potentially this guy, react with total hysteria to any peace proposal? Obviously, this gets a lot fewer likes. David Sachs also at some point, the conversation comes up about bots, to which Elon Musk, of course, instantly jumps in on. The bot attacks are strong on this poll. And David Sachs goes as far as saying, we're disabling comments for anybody other than people that he actually follows. You can see my reply here because he does follow me. He says, I truly hate to limit who can reply to my tweets, but I was getting sick of all the Ukrainian bots and sock puppets. As we know, disinformation is allowed on Twitter if it's for a good cause. It's actually not a terrible point because, as you saw, like the other person didn't really provide any evidence, and so what ends up happening? Well, that tweet goes viral, but actual like evidence-based content doesn't. But then again, that's social media, and that's a problem. So then Zelensky hops on the bandwagon, of course, same day because it's viral to do exactly that. Which Elon Musk do you like more? One who supports Russia, one who supports Ukraine? Obviously, Ukraine support won by a landslide. Sachs replies, the one who supports peace. Elon says, I still very much support Ukraine, but then goes into talking about, look, this could escalate to a nuclear issue, so we have to be real here about the dangers. So anyway, this was Elon Musk's original poll, which another a Ukrainian diplomat replied to and wrote, F off is my very diplomatic reply to you. That went pretty viral as well. And then, of course, we get things like attacking Elon's actual history without actually providing evidence. This person says, look, you're using Kremlin talking points with uncanny accuracy instead, or including words like Khrushchev's mistake. Again, no evidence to the contrary here. But then again, that's Twitter. So you've got a lot of hate here on Twitter about what's going on, to where it's gotten so bad that people are now trying to link Elon Musk to Russia, dressing him up as a comrade, as you see on screen here, and saying that, he's clearly had talks with Putin and that he's just using the Putin talking points and he's a Russian sympathizer. Some folks then come out and say things like, Elon told me he had spoken with Putin and the Kremlin directly about Ukraine. He also told me what the Kremlin's red lines were. Elon Musk replies and says, nobody should trust Bremer. Elon then later came out and said, oh, well, I only talked to Putin when I was talking to him about SpaceX and deploying Starlink before the war. But some are looking into this. And when I first saw this tweet from Elon Musk, Elon, when you just say nobody should trust Bremer, it does open up the potential to two doors here, right? Without further context, one door is this potential that, so you did speak with Putin about his red lines and you're pissed that this person revealed that? Or number two, did you not talk to Putin and this person's lying, right? Or is there like a third option here? I don't know. Again, with Twitter, there's a lot of context missing here. So it's just a complete disaster. So then Elon tried running a different poll, like, let's try this. He got off Crimea, which is, strategically pretty important because if you look at Crimea on a map, here's the Crimean Peninsula. It gives you access to both sides over here, the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. It gives you a lot of potential for not only sea bases, of which here are massive sea bases for Russia, and there are also massive air bases here for defenses. And then we kind of went back to Elon Musk providing the satellite dishes, which are Starlink satellites, so you can kind of get internet in remote areas using the near-Earth satellites that Elon Musk has in space via Starlink. It's a company that doesn't even break even yet. And he's providing this technology, provided the discs, or the dishes, I should say, to the Ukrainian front lines. There are about 25,000 of them, which cost about $25 million a month to actually operate. And this German reporter says, hey, Ukrainian diplomat, do you think it's really appropriate to say F off when Elon's trying to help with, peace and, providing internet to your people? Of course, that person replied and said, good idea is to shut up your far right and mind your own business. We don't need your advice. So, Twitter is really a pretty ugly cesspool, and I don't know how it's ever going to get better, and I think Elon's overpaying for it. But anyway, Elon then runs a new poll, right? Let's try this about Donbass or Crimea. Then you actually get the CNN article that breaks and says Musk SpaceX says it can no longer pay for critical satellite services in Ukraine, asks Pentagon to pick up the tab. Now, Elon Musk says he was told to put in a reimbursement request for this. Of course, everybody on social media, specifically those on the left, and remember when I ran for governor, I consider myself 5149, okay? So I don't try to identify with the extremes. I try to be as unbiased as possible. But, that makes sense. If you're doing a service for the government, you could get reimbursed for your costs for that. Of course, this is leading many to shout out that Elon Musk is just trying to milk American taxpayers, and he should be giving these terminals and the service away, even though their company doesn't even break even yet. Raytheon and Lockheed Martin obviously don't give away their Stinger missiles, rockets, or their what are they called? The HIMARS rocket launchers. This is massive, right? These are very, very expensive. And these companies don't give these away for free, right? It's all part of the military industrial complex. But then again, people see Raytheon and Lockheed Martin as well, they are the military industrial complex. And Elon, if you're going to take money for this stuff, then now you're becoming a part of that military industrial complex. So this is now leading to this drama that, fine, maybe the Pentagon will just find other vendors to provide support for internet in Ukraine, which of course Elon Musk then replies to, and in all fairness says, internet, fiber, phone lines, cell phone towers, and other space-based comms in war areas have already been destroyed. Starlink is all that's left for now. And to safeguard, SpaceX has diverted massive resources towards defenses, because Russia is actively trying to kill Starlink. Even so, Starlink may still die, which kind of makes you wonder, is Starlink in the United States under threat and getting attacked now? Because obviously, if you could kill Starlink, you could take down all of the communications for Ukraine and potentially destabilize them. And so now, because Elon Musk is being sort of puppeted as this person who's just trying to profiteer off of Ukraine, and he's obviously in Putin's head, allegedly, because at some point in the past he's talked to Putin, and now he's using Putin talking points. He must be a comrade. So you know what? That's it. Let's just go ahead and off with Elon. This is the post. Elon replies to this, and the reporter says, no, I think this is fake. There's no URL for this. We think this is just a Photoshop version of you. Elon Musk says this is very concerning, pins that disappearance tweet, and, does some more research into this. And then, fortunately, a Ukrainian government official actually comes out and says, definitely Elon Musk is among the world's top private donors supporting Ukraine. Starlink is an essential element of our critical infrastructure, trying to repair some of the damage that, I hate to say it, but the F-off comment or the Zelensky comment have kind of made to Elon Musk, which you kind of can't blame him. If they're giving him the middle finger, why should he then provide services, especially if they're for free? So anyway, that gives you a summary of all of this drama. So generally, the way you think about this is, if you like Elon Musk, you're dude, this is first of all, the best potential advertising ever for Starlink. So even if you gave the dishes for free, it's a brilliant business move. And if you get reimbursed the 25 mil on the monthly service, fair game. From a business point of view, totally reasonable. It's a fraction of the billions of dollars that are being sent over there anyway. This idea that he's now part of the military industrial complex, I don't know. I think that's a little bit of a stretch. After all, satellite dishes, whether they're receivers or what, don't kill people. But then again, you could say, yeah, well, guns don't kill people either. People kill people. And that's with those communications, they could kill people, right? It's okay. So then you could have the belief that maybe Putin is talking to people in Russia. and you know what? Honestly, between just you and me, who cares if he is? Obviously, Biden ain't doing it. Well, maybe Biden is through some other you know, like, I don't know, the United Nations or whatever, but none of that's working, right? At least we're not aware of that working yet. So it's like, look, if other people can stick their nose in this and actually contribute to solving the problem, please, by all means, like, I don't care. Like, if Elon Musk is like, dude, I sat down with Putin, had a beer, and we went in the spa together, you know, we just had our undies on, and we just had a little spa sesh, and we're like, hey, man, like, how about you take Crimea and just F off the rest? And Putin like, yeah, you know, it's okay. Yeah, duh. I don't know, right? Like, again, I'm not trying to propose what the solution is. I'm just saying, like, I don't really want to use nukes. I haven't really been maintaining, right? Like, whatever, right? So, so like, ultimately, this all this like drama is unfortunately perpetuated by Twitter in a very disgusting way. So, again, you then either think that Elon Musk is just an evil profiteer, in which case you probably don't like Teslas or Tesla stock anyway, or you just think Elon is honestly trying to do the best for humanity. He's worried about nuclear war. He's worried about death. You know, I always get comments on nuclear. I don't know why. I try my best. I know it's not the George Bush nuclear. That was the George Bush pronunciation. And then there's nuclear. Instead of nuclear, right? Nuclear. Anyway, now it just sounds weird even saying it. Whatever. So I'll just blame my cold. But the benefit is you can take advantage of that coupon code. Remember, as soon as the site changes and that coupon code SEED doesn't work, or if you're a member, you know what to do, then you're good. Like, you're already in. You don't have to worry about losing any kind of access. You're not. As long as you can check out with code SEED, you're good. But just do so tonight. You know, maybe like first thing if you watch this thing, first thing in the morning. I expect by, you know, early morning Saturday we'll get this done, unless we run into problems. But let me put it this way. I'm not going to post a video Saturday or Sunday or until Monday or until this is actually done. So we're going to get it done. Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.